So we're talking about, I'm assuming that we're recording.
I started 20 seconds ago.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Okay. We're keeping that in, by the way. We're just editing. Like,
Everything stays. That is nothing.
There's very little editing. We're just linking that shit together. Yep, pretty much. Here's the thing. Like, are we really just talking just to women? I think
No, but there's just more specific
maybe
examples.
80% of this is directly to women.
Yeah. And we are two women and we are sharing our experiences.
Yeah.
So.
Right. I gotta be honest, like, one of my biggest things when I first started teaching yoga was trying to get people, specifically women, to take up space. And originally it was like, just, oh my God, take up more space on the mat.
Yeah.
Stand with their arms bigger, like
Tall.
like coming in all like this makes me crazy, and staying like this. So some of it was like, clearly you're containing yourself.
Yes, you're shrinking yourself to fit into some.
But also it
Something.
was like people that just don't understand, like, if you actually take up space, it takes up less, it uses less effort,
Yeah.
you know? So it takes so much effort to be small and contain yourself.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, this is the year of just, like, my authentic self.
I feel it.
I feel like I'm using so much less effort. It's nice.
I'm getting there, and I noticed that there is this sweet spot when I feel like I haven't exerted too much energy, but I've been either productive or successful at something, and it's because I wasn't trying to shrink myself or be something different that I'm not, or
It's
put
super
on an
satisfying.
act. Yeah. I guess I don't know what it takes. I think my yoga practice has definitely helped, and even just thinking about these kind of concepts within yoga, the idea of taking up space and just the general awareness of who or what you are in space as well is complicated. I think this is kind of an almost reverse example, but I think of when I first started teaching beginners, specifically women, to stand with their feet hips distance apart. What do you notice? Their feet go so wide.
Right.
Because they think their hips, the width of their hips is so wide. You can just watch the body image stuff happen on the mat.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with certain poses where it's like trying to like shrink in and contain a body to a smaller amount of space.
Whereas the men in down dog, like, they have their feet next to each other. I'm like, hip width apart, guys.
They're
just like,
small.
I'm like, no, you actually do have a little wider hips, guys.
Yeah, so that type of, I think that type of body awareness or lack of body awareness is always really telling when somebody is unaware of their actual physical body and space because of how they perceive their body to be. They want their body to be smaller, so we're always taught to be, it's not as bad, it's getting a little bit better. I feel like I say that about everything that we talk about. It's like, it's getting a little bit better. I'm trying to be optimistic. It is getting a little bit better, but I still feel that women are taught by society to shrink themselves, to be quieter, to be softer, to take up less space in general, whether it's with their words or their actions or their actual physical body. We have so many examples that are happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ocasio-Cortez. I mean, I feel like
Lord,
she's taken up space.
And people hate it.
I love it.
I love it too. So she's using her words to take up space. You can tell she's being her authentic self.
Yes, she's like, this is what I'm gonna wear, this is what I'm gonna look like, you know.
Right.
Like, she can't help it that she's attractive.
Right.
My God.
She's not even 30. Like, give her a break. Give her a break for being cute, you guys.
Right. God, you know, I mean, but it's glorious, and she's unapologetic.
Yeah, I like that too.
And that is the best part. She's not apologizing for being like, look, these are the issues, these are the problems, this is how I am, and I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to be loud about it, and I'm going to Instagram about it, and tweet about it, and all these things.
And I'm gonna specifically call people out when they do things that are wrong.
Yes.
Rather than going, oh, I couldn't possibly. Oh, I need to stay in my place, or I need to know my place, which is kind of the other side of that. There are a lot of people that are giving pushback, and they're like, she just needs to shut up. She's crazy. Like that's always the argument against women that speak out or say what's on their mouth. She's crazy.
She's crazy. She's bossy.
She's bossy. Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like if you are a little girl versus a little boy and you're both equally assertive or aggressive, maybe aggressive, the girl will become bossy. The boy leadership skills.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What amazing leadership skills he has. And there are some different campaigns that are happening now that are like trying to shift that to she's not bossy, she's a boss, and just shifting words and trying to get girls to feel like it's safe to speak and take up space and have opinions and play sports and hey, maybe get paid for it.
What a concept. Like if you won the World Cup, like if you won like the whole thing of soccer,
right?
Maybe you should get paid appropriately for it.
Right, and the U.S. women's soccer team has been getting so much shit lately. They've been calling all of them arrogant. And if you were to look
They won it all.
Right.
They got it all. They did the thing.
Exactly. And the way that they've responded with excitement and enthusiasm and with a sense of, we worked really hard for this and then we succeeded, is being portrayed as arrogant. And people are saying, it's good that they won, but I wish they just wouldn't, make such a big deal about it. If this was the men's team and we would be having parades all over the place.
Right.
And then we also have, women on the team that are, LGBT, we have several lesbians on the team as well, so that adds a whole other thing where people are making comments about that being a factor.
Are there any gay men on the soccer team?
I don't know.
Exactly. We don't know.
Exactly.
But why do we know that there are gay women on the...
That's a really good point.
I don't know what it means. I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm sure there are.
Yeah, probably.
Statistically, there probably are.
Right. It's kind of like, I saw this funny thing. It's like, if you kick a ball and you're a man, it's soccer. If you kick a ball and you're a woman, it's women's soccer.
That makes me crazy.
Yeah. So what I like about this whole situation is that they're at no point apologizing. So the language that they're using is, we earned this. And I actually watched a video of a few of them where they were talking amongst each other. One of them was filming and they were, they had their awards and they were at some kind of parade that was thrown for them. And they were like, who earned this? We earned this. And they were just affirming and reaffirming each other, just really holding each other up. And it was really, really amazing to see, because I was listening to, this is the most cliche thing I could say, but I say it all the time. I was listening to NPR the other day, and
I say that all the time.
That's how I start 90% of my sentences.
So when I was listening to NPR the other day.
3 things. I was reading a study.
Yeah.
I was listening to NPR. Well, actually, I heard.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm a well actually
You're a
guy,
well actually kind
and
of
I need
guy,
to stop it. I can't help it.
Yeah,
I went
that's
to grad school and it turned me into a monster.
It's okay.
It's fine.
So you were listening to NPR.
I was listening to NPR and they were talking about that, and they were interviewing people that were involved with the World Cup in 1999, and I cannot remember the name of the player right now. I'm very bad with names, but they won, and she pulled her shirt off.
Oh,
and she was like, yes! And she had the sports bra on, and that was so scandalous. They were like, oh, like clutching pearls, because a woman had just done something really cool and ripped her shirt off in kind of a victory
The
move.
men do it, and they have nothing underneath.
The men do that.
You get to see their nipples.
Swinging around. They don't even need them.
Right. Yeah, no, Mia Hamm is a badass, and I love Hope Solo.
Yes.
I'm just all about the women's soccer. The soccer team.
I know. It's not rough.
Whatever. Anyway.
This
isn't about male bashing either, by the way.
No.
I'm just saying it.
No,
this is gender equality.
It's a societal thing. So
Yes.
this isn't something that we're sitting here and saying, like, this sucks because men suck.
No.
No, it's separate. It's like a totally separate thing. But there is this idea of arrogance or being bossy or being overly aggressive when you're doing things that are just basic human things.
Celebrating.
The lack of apologizing is something. There have been a few. I think it was Dove, which is really weird. Like Dove soap had some campaign where they were basically trying to get women to be less apologetic. I don't know.
Dove does a lot, actually.
Yeah, I don't know how that ties
into a lot of great
into
ads.
shampoo and soap, but they had a social media thing a while back where they were trying to get women to apologize less or to stop apologizing, and that was like the hashtag associated with it. And I sent you that little meme about like basically it said don't kneecap your language, so don't add words like I'm sorry but or I just feel like, which I'm very guilty of, but I do it in kind of a like sassy teen girl kind of way. I'm like, I just feel like
I feel like you're being a little bit sarcastic right now.
I do that. I definitely do that. But so using those words before what you mean
it
to
makes
soften it.
Yeah, it makes it little. Like how can't you just say like you're being sarcastic?
Yeah, you're adding cute little words to soften it up and make it cuter so that you don't come across as, I don't know, like you know what you're talking about.
You're still saying the thing.
You're still saying the thing, but you're trying to soften it. And this happens, so in the business world, I don't know how much you had to email people with your previous corporate jobs, but it's like
all the time.
Getting emails from women versus getting emails from men is
it's different.
It's a whole other
First
world.
of all, a man's email is like, this is like 3 sentences and it says exactly what it means, whereas a woman's like, I'm really sorry to bother you and this is what I was thinking about and maybe we could do this and blah blah. Thank you so much for your time. I apologize for bothering you with all of
I
my words.
apologize for existing with 5,000 exclamation points.
Yes. Yes, there's a big difference.
I was guilty of that. I got to a point where I would occasionally ask other people to read my emails before I sent them. I'm like, does this sound too apologetic? I just asked you the other day. I was reading an email and I was like, look at this. Tell me, be honest. And you were like, don't say unfortunately, don't say you're sorry, don't apologize, just say the words that you mean. And I was like, oh yeah, that does sound better.
Right.
Because I'm not sorry and I don't feel like it's unfortunate.
It is a very fortunate.
So why am I softening the blow for no
right.
reason? Yeah, like why do I feel the need to protect someone else? It's like this happens a lot with women in it would be a super bummer. So women in abusive situations, so whether it's a parent or it's domestic violence, things like that, they will feel the need to comfort their abuser. So if their abuser is lashing out at them and then suddenly becomes self-aware, tearful, apologetic, whatever, it's very common for women to be like, I'm sorry, it's okay, you'll be okay, rather than accepting the apology or saying, yeah, that was shitty and you shouldn't do that
syndrome.
Yeah, but that's a really common thing that's just kind of built in, and it's not something to say this demographic is this demographic is bad and this demographic is good. So a lot of people fall into that trap where they're like, if you say things like that, then you're implying that you hate all men and that men are all terrible. It's like, no. This is a societal thing, and becoming aware of it can help us to move past it, because it doesn't just benefit women, it benefits men as well, because we're all saying what we mean at that point. And we're not going to mess around trying to figure out if somebody means what they said or not.
God, do you know how much time we would save if we just said what we meant?
Yeah.
God.
I know. It's really rough.
It takes so much effort.
I know. It's like this constant censoring that happens.
Yes.
I have been doing it less and less every year progressively since I turned 30, I think. So I'm on a pretty good roll and it's getting better, but it still sneaks in sometimes. It still sneaks in where it's like, I'm really sorry to bother you, but it's like, I'm not sorry to bother you.
No, I'm not actually.
I need something.
Yep, I need a thing.
Just ask.
Do you have a pen?
Just ask. I'm so sorry, but no. Yeah. So I think I'm getting better, and I think it helps to have other women that are also working on it and holding you accountable. What is happening to your body?
I don't even know. They don't care. They just park.
We need to learn more from cats.
They're like, you're laying down, I'm going to park right on your chest and put my nose in your face.
Guess what? You're not reading that book anymore either.
Nope.
Yeah, cats are a really good example for all of us, and just taking up space.
Right, and I think there's a
demanding
difference.
what you need.
Yeah, because like sometimes like dogs, like do your dogs ever like sneak up? They're like,
Oh, absolutely, 1000%. Because they're like, is it okay if I come in the kitchen? Like,
right,
dude, just come in the kitchen.
Yes.
Like, you're not. I've never hit you in your entire life. Why are you afraid now?
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from. Although I will say, like, one of our cats he's afraid of bags. And I'm like, I've never put you in a bag. ever. I don't know where this came from.
Past life trauma?
Yeah, probably. Anyway, so that's a big digression.
Cats are the opposite of what we're talking about. The idea of shrinking within the context of your words, in the context of your yoga mat. I wanted to read the quote from... I'm always going to get it wrong, so I'm going to read it because... It's a very Nigerian name. People probably have heard of her, but Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Good job.
Adichie, I think. Look, you can look it up. But she is an author. She's
got
an
TED Talks.
activist. Definitely look up the TED Talk, We Should All Be Feminists. And don't get all feminism on me. Don't do it. I'm going to read a quote from it. So one of the quotes that I instantly thought of when we were discussing this was the first one from the TED Talk regarding women. You should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you would threaten the man. If you're the breadwinner in your relationship with a man, you have to pretend that you're not, especially in public. Otherwise, you will emasculate him. And then she also said, because I'm female, I'm expected to aspire to marriage. I'm expected to make my life choices, always keeping in mind that marriage is the most important thing. A marriage can be a source of joy and love and mutual support. But why do we teach girls to aspire to marriage and we don't teach boys the same? So the whole talk, it's also in a book, so you can get it in book form, and it's a really short little sweet book. She nails it. The whole talk is really dealing with that we societally, and I imagine for her it was significantly worse because she grew up in Nigeria, and she does talk about that. Traditionally, it's probably not as significant now for people that are in their teens or 20s or even little kids now, but people our age and even a little younger, we were taught to kind of be quiet or be seen and not heard, and girls do this and boys do this, or a lady doesn't behave in this way. And even if your mom wasn't specifically saying it to you, I'm sure, like, for both of us, these were things that were being absorbed. Even think about even the actual first Star Trek movie. I mean, even think of Princess Leia. So Princess Leia is a badass.
That's Star Wars.
What did I say? Star Trek. Oh, I said Star Trek? I'm doing that now?
You did it.
Oh, wow.
That's all right.
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's okay.
What is Star Wars?
Star Wars.
I even have it on my shirt.
It's okay.
But Princess Leia in the first Star Wars, she's very... she describes it a little bit as she was kind of putting on like a fake British accent because she thought that would be prim and proper.
Yeah.
But even her, to a certain extent, was very, like, fewer lines, a little bit more subdued, not so much, speaking out. She was bossy. She was sassy. She was bossy. But there was still something that was a lot smaller about her in that era. If you were to compare that to Rey, say.
That very true. Yeah. I mean, Rey is right off the bat. She's by herself. She's an individual. She's independent. She's fighting for her own food.
Yeah.
She's defending herself. She has her own stick. She has her own speeder.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite different characters.
She's not a princess that needs rescuing.
No.
By any means whatsoever.
However, I do believe that Rey is a Skywalker. I'm just putting that out there.
I think so too. We should speculate wildly.
I do. I don't think she's a Kenobi, but I know people who believe she's a Kenobi. However.
Yeah, but I think that's a good, just kind of way to see the changes if you're to look at that one universe, to see, from like Princess Leia to even Padme to Rey, the changes just with the decades that have occurred in terms of their their speech, how much space they take up, even, and I know that this, the way that the trilogies work out, they're supposed to be prequels anyway, but she still had a lot of tendencies, Padme did, that were more submissive, more withdrawn, even though she was in a position of power and authority.
Well, I mean, also just the fact that we're coming from Princess Leia she was a different kind of character. Mm-hmm. She was one of the top 3 leads. Yes. She was one of the 3.
Amazing for the time.
However, now, the point is what's happening now is that we actually have female leads, period. The female plays the lead part in the movies, that it's her story, it's Rey's story, it's, so,
I'm gonna bring up Mad Max Fury Road again.
Oh, do it. Yeah.
Furiosa.
Oh my God, Furiosa, I love her.
She takes up some space with her words and her actions.
And she's only got half an arm.
Yeah. She doesn't even need her whole arm to take up space.
Yes, and she's got her head shaved.
Yeah.
And that's just, I love that movie from top to bottom.
It's nearly perfect. I don't really have anything I can think of off the top of my head that I don't love about it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I love the way that the female characters were done. Even the wives, the gals that were in white. I still liked their characters.
They were still fiercely independent. They fought and they were, all working to survive. So that was the kind of over.
Yeah, you had your place, you did your thing, okay, I'm going to have to sleep with this guy and give him children or whatever. Yeah. But still, they were still badasses, so I still appreciated all of that was.
Yeah, they were all very strong characters, I would say. And I would really like to get to a point where we don't have a category on Netflix that says TV shows or movies with a strong female lead. I would really like to not have to differentiate.
Yes, it's like soccer versus women's soccer.
Right, and I'm not saying erase the word female or whatever, and that it's not important or that visibility isn't important, but it would just be nice for it to not be such a small subgenre of action movies that, we have to give it its own, 12 movie, subtext in Netflix or whatever the thing is. Or we come up with a list of 11 movies that have a strong female lead. And then we trace it back to Trolls, and they're all like, those movies all sucked.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a strange thing too. So we've come very far and we've seen all of this progress, but still there's some intense pushback with each situation. There's pushback with Rey, there's pushback with all of it. I don't understand it either, and it's not necessarily all coming from older people either.
No, you're right. And I think it's it's male trolls who are in their 30s and early 40s, from what I can gather.
Yeah.
That are all ouchy about women being.
They just hate Brie Larson so much.
God, why? I don't understand. She's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it's not that I have a problem with women.
Really? Really? Because let's investigate. Let's dig deep in
If you have to start your sentence with that, that's like starting your sentence with, I'm not racist, but the thing you're about to say is 1,000% guaranteed to be racist.
Yes.
That's the same deal with I don't have a problem with a woman being president. What are you going to say
then
next?
Just don't say the next thing.
Because the next thing you're going to say is going to suck.
Pretty much. Yes.
And it applies to, women running for president as well, or any woman in politics. So bringing up AOC at first was, I think, good, because the expectations, my God, for women in politics are absurd.
Yeah.
If they speak up in any way, you've got people so riled up. How dare she?
I mean, that's what she was voted in for.
Right. People chose
That's her job.
Yeah.
She is there to be our advocate.
Right. But she should just sit there and, look really cute.
No. I actually...
And if she does, that's a problem, too.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if she were to sit there and just look cute, that's just as much of a problem as the people that, I don't know that I want to get into this, that aren't speaking up right now when they should be speaking up.
Right.
Okay, I'm not going to go there, because that would derail us entirely.
Yeah.
However, so when it comes to yoga poses, so I do want to talk about like the physical side of things, because I see this a lot in females, but also males.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are plenty of male students that I've worked with that you can just tell that they do spend their lives being small and trying to take up less space, and apologizing for their existence.
Yeah.
And it makes me crazy, and it makes me sad, because number one, in a yoga studio, when practicing yoga, the idea is, from a physical standpoint, the whole purpose of yoga is to breathe.
Right.
And in order to breathe properly, you need to give your body space. You need to lengthen your torso.
Right.
Get your chest away from your belly. And when you do that, that automatically takes your shoulders out, and that automatically is going to help open up your hips. You're going to stand taller.
Right.
So if you just even think about, I just need to take up space so that I can breathe properly.
Right. I always cue that as like expansiveness, or expanding through your ribs, or expanding through your belly, which is a really tough one for a lot of people, because a lot of us feel like the belly is just like a tender like spot.
Nobody's
for a lot
gonna
of people.
gut you.
But people, yeah.
You're not going to get eviscerated in a yoga studio.
People worry about the belly thing, because we were taught in the at least the 90s, like, soak in your gut. Or like, even with some other forms of exercise, and I think like maybe Pilates, I don't remember, like you're just supposed to like, even Uddiyana Bandha, it's like drawing it in and up, but there are times for that and times to not worry about that.
You gotta let it go.
When you're breathing deeply, you gotta breathe into your belly, and I think some people can get, of all genders, have a hard time with that, and they don't want to feel that expansiveness, because they equate expansiveness and taking up space with being too large, or their body being too large. So there's a lot of body image stuff that ties into it.
I like muchness. That's
muchness.
Muchness. One of my favorite words from Alice in Wonderland, Johnny Depp's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Where he said that you've lost your muchness.
Oh, I remember that.
And I dug around, and it's not actually in the original Lewis Carroll stuff.
Yeah,
that's not a word.
Like a lot of times.
No. So I love that, because I can totally relate. He's like, you're not the same Alice. You're a different one. You've lost your muchness, which really means like, I mean, I don't know how to better describe it. Like, I think it makes sense what it's saying. There's your substance.
Yeah.
The thing that makes you whole and big and more of yourself. Maybe it's authenticity, or something else. But I like that. Like, find your muchness and let it take up space.
Right.
Let it sort of like ooze out of you. Be much.
Yeah.
Be much.
Be much.
There was a
Am much. Do much.
Yes. So kind of related, but not I don't know about muchness, but I was walking to get a cup of coffee the other day, and I am much. I'm embracing my muchness. And so
this is losing its meaning though.
And I know, now it sounds like a funny word. But I also have a bit of a swagger when I walk, because I want to be tall. I want people to not to necessarily notice me, but I don't want to be small. Okay. I'm already 5'4".
Yeah.
So I was walking to get coffee, and I'm walking with my kind of swagger, because I'm also like feeling good. Like, I ran well that morning. I had a good practice by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm walking, and there's this woman walking towards me. She specifically doesn't look me in the eye.
Yeah.
That
happens a lot.
She looks off to the side, and I'm looking directly in her face.
Yeah.
To acknowledge and be like, I acknowledge your existence.
Right.
And say hello. I even smiled, and I ended up just smiling all to myself on that sidewalk, because she was so intent at looking at something over there, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, so she was making herself smaller by even just looking away. You know, like, just all it takes is 3 seconds to look me in the eye.
Right.
And just acknowledge that we're like humans, and you deserve to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
This was less about my being offended at not being looked at. This was more about you deserve to be acknowledged.
That's an interesting difference I've noticed. So I grew up probably like half in the north and half in the south, all on the East Coast.
Wow.
And in the south, everybody says, for the most part, good morning to each other. People greet each other in the morning. If you're on a walk, you're outside, whatever, people engage with each other more. In the north, people are heads down, you know, keep your head down and just keep moving forward a lot more too. So that is a difference that I've noticed just from kind of like switching between the two places. And occasionally we'll go visit places in North Carolina and I'm like, oh, that's right, people talk to each other here. This is so strange. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe when it's warmer, you're happier and more likely to say hi. But it was summer when this happened to you. So
Yeah, it was just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and also I think one of the things that's helped me with that is being a runner.
Yeah.
Part of the runner culture is you acknowledge the runners when you go past.
Yeah.
My other thing, okay, so this is almost like a PSA. Like, my thing is, especially on the bike path or the running path, is I'm going to look a woman in the eyes because I want to see what her face looks like. Because I'll be damned if she shows up in an article where she got stolen or molested.
Yeah.
I want to know that I actually saw her face.
Ooh.
So from a safety standpoint, look people in the eye.
That's a really good point.
And they say that statistically, if there's somebody that even has it in their brain that they're going to like take you or molest you, if you actually acknowledge them first, they're less likely to do that. Because if they see that you're weak and you look away, you're a prime target.
I've read that too. That looking down, looking away.
Yes.
Seeming like you would not maybe.
You're prey
fight
now.
back. Yeah. Woof. That's a lot to unpack.
I am just saying that. Like, talk about, like, we've been having some, like, big topics that I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
And that's another one. Like, because, you know, I don't know if some of the, because I've gone for runs, and then later in the day, there were articles that came out that some young woman something happened to her. And I'm like, damn it, did I see her? Did I know?
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, was that the day that I didn't look somebody in the face?
Wow.
Like,
that's a lot of responsibility for you, though.
But I don't. but it's important, I think, you know. So you just don't know. Plus, I mean, being able to look somebody in the face, you actually are just seeing the people around you, and that means that you're actually opening yourself up enough
Yeah.
to see and be seen.
And I think that's part of the problem for most people that want to shrink in is they don't want to be seen or they don't want to.
But you do realize, like, I mean,
We can see you.
Yeah, I make the joke in class sometimes, like, okay, close your eyes so that nobody can see you. I mean, that the joke is that obviously, like, we can still see you. So
Yeah.
looking away doesn't actually make you invisible.
No.
I just want people to acknowledge that.
I know, and that's a difficult thing if you have social anxiety. I don't think I do anymore. I did in my 20s, and one thing that I would do if I was in a very large crowded place is I would take my glasses off because I'm incredibly nearsighted, and it would help me navigate the space. So if it was like a shopping situation, like a mall, something like that, I would take my glasses off because it made me feel like other people couldn't see me. I don't know if that's something else that other people do, but it gave me this illusion of safety, of not being seen. Or like, I'm very comfortable in larger, more chaotic cities. So like, I'm very comfortable in New York City.
Yep.
I was very comfortable in Seattle, being downtown, and with a lot of people around because I feel somehow invisible in that kind of space, and I feel more able to take up space. It's very strange, but if people were engaging with me, it would be different. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, but I just think that that's part of it too.
I'm also a city girl. Like, I'm kind of uncomfortable in small towns.
Yes,
There's probably a lot more to that, let's be honest. But
yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's like another episode where we just insult everyone that lives anywhere outside the city.
God, who haven't we insulted yet?
I don't know. Let's make a list and then we'll work on it.
Okay.
But nobody's saying anything, so
We don't know if you're insulted or not.
Yeah, so we're just gonna keep on keeping on.
If you'd like to be insulted, let us know something about you.
I know. I agree, and I think it was one of the last episodes I said we will roast you.
Yes. Yeah. We will gladly roast you.
Just send us a picture of you or just like message us on Facebook and we can go through your profile and then we will make fun of you.
Yeah. Namaste, though. No, we do it with love, though.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sign of love, because I think, what are we? We're endearing assholes.
Yes, we are endearing assholes.
So that's how you know. That's how you know you've made it.
That's right.
When your friend calls you an idiot for doing something, you're like, oh, I was being an idiot. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love you too.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it is.
Do we have more that we feel like we need to
No, I think I've said enough.
Do we have anybody else?
I'm not being small. I'm being
right.
just legit.
I
Like,
don't have anybody else I want to offend.
no, not right now.
No, I'll start making a list.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed this, please click like or subscribe. If you would in fact like to be insulted more, please do let us know if there was something. If you have a topic that you would like to to see us shred to pieces.
Yeah.
Please send
Like, what are your thoughts on fill in the blank? Like, oh boy.
All right, game on.
Yeah.
We will do that thing.
Yeah.
And go to patreon.com/yoga rebels to help support us to do other things. What else is the thing that we have? We've got an Ask Us Anything.
We've got an Ask Us Anything option on Facebook. And I believe there's still one on our Instagram. So our Facebook, just look up on Facebook, Yoga Rebels. And then on Instagram, it's at Yoga Rebels Podcast. So the full word. And follow us there. Follow us on all the places that we are at, because we post some stuff. Like, we post we'll update you when the next thing comes out, but then we throw out some other stuff in there too.
Right.
So
Yeah. Cool. All right. So in the meantime,
I guess keep the
rebellion alive. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.